I don't normally do responses to this kind of bait, and most of the videos that I put up are for the inner circle and the members of our organization. But I'm going to make this slightly more public, just because I think there needs to be a response, a detailed explanation to the post that was put up earlier in this group. And I know it's late at night and this is quite awkward, me being in the dark, but I have to comment on the post made by that girl regarding firstly the attack on our organization, a clear attack on our organization about overpriced clubhouses. I don't think $50 a month is overpriced to begin with. That's less than most gym memberships. I'd say that's less than probably 90% of gym memberships. And what you're getting out of that is not just a gym. I know the Sydney gym's probably not as well set up as the Melbourne gym, but Brisbane again is going to be pretty well kitted by those guys. You're becoming part of a national collective, a membership of mostly younger guys that are high energy, that successful action comes out of. Now, some of that successful action might be politically minded, but that is not our goal. You see, our view on politics, our view on political representation is simply that. Any interest we have in a political party or any interest that we have in entering politics in the future, for our model, is simply for the purpose of the representation of our physical community in the future. Now, at the moment, we don't have a physical community. Our community is sparse, it is destroyed, it is deconstructed. And what our goal is a community solution to a political problem, and that is to create a politicized population within a physical suburb, to recolonize a physical suburb. And this recolonization must center around a facility. Now, the first facilities that we've set up, interstate and in Victoria, are in a central location, or roughly central location, and are not in the location of the final colonization of Melbourne. And that's even to say that we are only going to set up one. We could potentially set up 2 or 3 in the future, depending on whether we want to go through a process of centralization or decentralization of our community. I would prefer to have one singular location, as central as possible in the outer suburbs. And this clubhouse, so to speak, is the epicenter of a future community group. And the clubhouse itself, as a building, as a facility offering services, is the epicenter of a future community center. So something that looks like a town hall, something that looks like an old WASP clubhouse sort of thing, country club, something that has large amounts of land, something that has huge resources and facilities, whether that's just a bar, a bistro, a restaurant, function rooms, private rooms, the boys club's still going to be there, gym, health, fitness, daycare, potentially education in the future. Now, where this model comes from is what is being done against us, what is being used against us. And a perfect example to help explain this process of what real power is if you look at the Islamic community in this country, they don't have a specific unified political party. They have immense political, social, economic power through the collection of their resources, which center around a mosque. They have a central community center, which is their mosque, which grows into both an Islamic school, a daycare, a cafe, a meeting place. It's a spiritual center, which is what our community centers will be in the future. It is a political center. It is where the scholars are, the imams. It is where their philosophy grows out of. Everything bleeds out of the mosque. It is a center point for economic and trade. I have been to many mosques, or outside many mosques, in my time. I used to work in Broadmeadows in Melbourne. For those that work in Melbourne will know, Broadmeadows is a very heavily Islamic area. And when I was leaving work once on a Friday, I left work 2 hours earlier than normal, and all the streets were blocked off, not by prayers, but by all these $70,000, $80,000 dual cab Hiluxes, You know, all these tradies, all these young Muslim guys, all driving around in nice cars. They're all shaking hands. They're all making business deals. They're all finding work for each other. They've got a physical community. And it doesn't matter that they don't have anyone in parliament, because that's not real power. If a parliamentarian could solve this problem, they would have already, but they can't. The only purpose in the future, as a senator or an MP in any area or district or regional state, whatever it is, whether it's federal or state, is to ensure the interests of our future community group, which is a fifth column in this society. We are the barbarians. We are the outsiders. It's not the other way around. It's not our country anymore. They're not our institutions anymore. It's not our government anymore. And this is a message that needs to get through to your heads. You know, you can be in the house or you can be in the field. You know, the house nationalist sits there and goes, oh no, the economy is going bad. The field nationalist goes, good, it needs to collapse. The system is broken. And you can debate me all day long, but I will prove you all wrong, because that's exactly what we're doing.